Hey, Coach Abel here along with my colleague Kevin the Machine Weiss of the Able Body Experts, and we're giving you an in the classroom coach 'em up about basic program design. So obviously this is going to interest a lot of people who are on the more academic side of fitness, and it will interest people less who are not. Another caveat for people who think that training is doing one exercise to failure, one set to failure once every 6 days or something, this isn't for you. You can turn this out right now. So hopefully you've seen part 1, part 2, and part 3. What's important to emphasize in basic program design is that we selected a purpose, a theme, and a goal, which was strength density, in order to create muscle development. And then Coach chose our structure of upper lower. Then our context we decided would be generic because we're trying to teach you basic program design, but context usually means who's the program designed for, not just the goal, all right? And then we chose a periodization scheme, yes or no. Often we choose no, this time we choose yes. And then we decided on a reciprocal periodization plan. And the reciprocal aspect of that is, Coach, you want to take it over?
Yeah, we're doing the descending sets, so we built up over 5 weeks to 5 sets of 5.
So this is our peak week, 5 sets of 5 reps.
So now we got to come back down the other side of that pyramid, and we're going to go back down 4 sets of 5, 3 sets of 5, 2 sets of 5, 1 set of 5, and then your other sets. You're still doing 5 sets. That remains the same as it was on the way up.
All out sets.
Yeah.
But week 6 is 4 sets of 5 with 1 set of 8. Week 7 is 3 sets of 5 with maybe a set of 10 and a set of
15.
Yeah. And then week 9, 2 sets of 5 with 3 descending sets, all to failure. All right. So that gives us our periodization scheme of 10 weeks. Okay. Now every program, if it's going to be true to itself, true to the science of the craftsmanship of a program, is going to have a variable context and a constant context. Okay, now this is what we're getting to the nitty-gritty. This is what parts 1 through 3 or 4, however many we've done, have led to. Okay, and this is the nuts and bolts of program design. In our last segment, we decided on the push-pull format. Coach chose bench press for exercise 1. I chose a high incline dumbbell press, and so that gave us 2 exercises. The next day, Coach chose a barbell squat, and I chose a hack squat.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Something like that,
yeah. Or you chose, what's the one you put yourself inside the...
trap bar deadlift.
Trap bar deadlift, and I chose a barbell deadlift. Doesn't matter. But the structure of the program now leads to, we have to have some things constant, and we have to have a variable impact to prevent immediate adaptation. So, Coach, what are our variable components in this particular program for strength density and muscular development?
Well, one of the variables is what we were just talking about there, is exercises. Your exercises do not always have to be the exact same.
Right. On this program, one of our variables is exercise selection. All right, and that's a variable component. What's another one of our variable components, Coach?
Another one would be load.
All right, we have a load variant here. So we're not doing the same weight each week. We're not after the same schedule each week. We have a load variant because we're going a set of 5, a set of 8, a set of 12. Obviously, you're going to use different loads for that. Okay?
Yeah.
So that leads to another variant.
And that would be your reps are going to be a variant as well. And that's the thing. Your load is always, it's a variant because you're using the load that you can handle that day. So that's going to change from day to day to failure, right? So that's what makes it a variant as well.
Right. You might be shooting for 12 reps and you get 13 or you get 11.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's all out. So that means that we're using a load as a variant, not a constant, and we're using reps as a variant, not a constant, which some people would say is wrong.
Yeah.
And those are people who don't usually understand strength density for muscle development. They think in terms of limit strength.
Exactly.
Everything's about 3 sets of 3 and how much you lift.
Yeah, it's a completely different.
So you can see that we're getting into the nuts and bolts of the science of program design. So those are our major variants: exercise selection, load, week to week, workout to workout, and rep variants. Now, what are our constants, Coach?
Well, our constants are going to be the weeks. How many weeks that the
our reciprocal periodization was 5 weeks up, 5 weeks down. So that is a constant, okay? That's one of our program constants.
Yeah, that's
What's
set
another
right at
one
the
of our
beginning.
program constants, Coach?
Well, the 5 sets of 5 itself is going to be a
So
constant.
5 sets of each exercise, so now our sets are a constant. Sets, duration, and we have one other constant that most people always confuse with the load as a variant, but the real constant, Coach,
That's going to be your intensity level.
intensity level. So as you can see, in terms of basic program design for strength density, which leads to muscle development, in all the things we follow to get there, we have a balance of a variable component and a constant component based upon the choices we made. We could have made 100 different choices within those choices for the same goal if we were using an actual person as our context. And we only used day 1 and day 2, correct, Coach?
Yeah, pretty basic stuff.
So our basic structure of our program is built around day 1 and day 2. But from there, we can create a 3-day program, a 4-day program, 5-day program,
yeah, 6-day, whatever.
6-day. We could add metabolic work. We could not add metabolic work. All right? So we have a basic structure in play that does what, Coach? Anything you want to...
Well, the basic thing that I want to say is that's why not everybody can just go ahead and write programs, is because they're not considering all of this stuff. There's a lot of decisions to be made before you actually have your finished product, your
Yes.
program, right? So that's why not just anybody can come and hammer out a program for somebody and have it be effective, because they're not considering all these variables before they're actually picking their exercises and picking their sets and reps and whatnot.
Especially neglected are the variants and constants, which should have some kind of balance to them over the course of a program structure, depending on, is it a program 2-day, a 3-day, a 4-day, a 5-day, okay? So we just did how many parts? I lost count.
4 or 5.
4 or 5 parts for you for basic program design in the fitness industry for a specific purpose. I don't think you're going to see this anywhere else. I don't know many people who talk the talk don't even understand this stuff. But the scheme that we chose led to the design of the program, okay? So basic program design 101, program design for dummies, whatever you want to call it. We chose the goal of strength density and toward muscular development, and then we said, how are we going to get there?
Yeah.
And then we just followed from there. And then we got to general to specific, all right? Which led us to our variable component and our constants component. All right? Program design in a nutshell. Go back and watch it from part 1, Coach.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to take in, and you'll probably get, if you watch it a few times, you'll get more out of it each time you watch it, because there's so many things to consider. Even though it's basic program design, it's far from very easy.
Right.
It still takes a lot of consideration if you're going to make yourself or someone else an effective program.
So, science, yes, but more of a craft.
Yeah, it's as much an art as it is a science, for sure.
Just like writing music. It's been basic program design parts 1 through 4 from the Able Body Experts.